As we are thoroughly into Taurus season, I wanted to give some health recommendations that can potentially help all those Tauruses out there. So let's get it going. When a Taurus is nutritionally satiated, their energy, their emotions, and their nutrition flow freely. They are basically unstoppable. So, regulating blood sugar is one of the key primary components for Tauruses to act and maintain a very healthy, strong constitution. Since Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus, the planet of sugar, starch, and carbohydrates, blood sugar regulation tends to be the main story that's played out in many Tauruses' overall health throughout their lifetime. So, what a good recommendation is to have the start of the day have a high protein and fat meal, and that'll really satiate how a Taurus can actually go throughout the day with regulated blood sugar handling. Pleasure is a pivotal part of a Taurus's health, but also is moderation. Although they can tend to eat fast, slowing down the experience of having a nice meal with candles, conversation, enjoying the food, taste can be very, very healing for Tauruses, especially with light chewing. This can also be very helpful because Taurus actually rules the lower jaw, and since their digestion can get slow at times, it's really good that they take the time to actually chew and enjoy the food. Increased fiber helps improve gut motility, so it's important to regulate digestion well for a Taurus by having things like beans, legumes, nuts, healthy fats. As you can see above right here, this is a really good selection of foods that are going to be really good for a Taurus's nutritional availability and diet. Tauruses actually happen to be the longest lived sign out of the 12 zodiac signs. However, one prone condition they have can be actually what's called hypothyroidism, which is an underactive thyroid gland, which can regulate temperature, metabolics of the human body, and even thermal regulation. This can lead to things like fatigue, overweight, constipation, and just totally feeling run down. For more targeted thyroid support, I would recommend things that have iodine, zinc, as well as any kind of selenium containing foods. So seaweed's a really good choice, Brazil nuts, and many types of seafood will actually contain these types of minerals. Reducing foods high in goitrogens may be necessary for a time because what goitrogens can do is actually block normal thyroid functioning. Tauruses excel at exercises that are done over long distances over a long period of time. So things like backpacking, as well as hiking, or just even going on long walks are very, very beneficial for their movement. As a fixed earth sign, Tauruses may be used to more long distance running at a very slow pace for themselves. With Taurus dominant people, it's important that they're doing a lot of push, pull, and carrying exercises. I would actually recommend that they do more strength training than cardio for just their overall constitution and health. Their weightlifting can actually be just pretty straightforward by doing the big three lifts of the bench, deadlift, and squat. They also excel at sports like powerlifting. In addition to that, them doing reps from between 3 to 5 can be very beneficial with plenty of rest in between because Taurus is a very strong sign and this will really benefit them. In terms of yoga for a Taurus, slow practices that hold long postures are more of Taurus's style. That being said, it's also really good for Taurians to challenge themselves in upright standing and balancing poses for strength as well. As mentioned before, some of the clinical key findings I've found with a lot of Taurus patients is that they can have thyroid issues, which they got to be very careful about learning to not overindulge on food, especially things that have high sugar or high carbs. I'll also notice that this actually translates into a lot of kind of sinus pressure, especially dry sinuses that they can experience. And then because Taurus rules many of the areas around the neck, they can be prone to toothaches, they can be prone to jaw tension. So it's important that we address things that include emotional regulation as well as dietary function that can actually improve this as well as their digestive functioning. So I hope that gives you a little insight and enjoy Taurus season.